needed attention because I didn't get it at home. So I was always craving for attention. Were you like that?
Absolutely. But it wasn't because I didn't get it at home. I got a lot of attention at home.
You did?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it was because I started working when I was so young.
It's like 7.
4.
4.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's early.
Didn't know how to read when I started to learn how to memorize. So my mom would read my lines to me and I would memorize auditorily. So my memory is insane. Like I went back to school when I was 36. And I realized I'm really good at school, not necessarily because I'm like super smart, but because I remember things really easily.
Remember, do you retain things from a long time ago too? Or is it mostly like if you read something, you retain it immediately?
It's like that.
See, that's lucky. That's lucky, especially with learning lines and things like that.
Well, and I think that's why, because I learned lines through my whole developmental time. But I knew who I was based on the reaction I got from my audience. That was how I developed an identity.
Right.
And so when I didn't have a reaction from an audience, I had no idea who I was. So I was constantly seeking an audience, you know?
Me too. It was like I didn't feel comfortable being me. So when people saw me in a show or something, they'd be like, oh, you were really funny. I'm like, oh, great. I'll just continue being someone else.
Right.
Next one, next role. What is it? And that lasted, I mean, for a long time. I don't think it was until the last 10 years I started really digging deep and finding out, you know, why I have these issues and why I need attention or why I crave an audience.
What caused you to even start digging deep? Because some people don't ever ask this question.
Well, it's just more about not relying on success, like not defining success as something like being an actor. For instance, like being someone who, you know, is revered by many, or people, you know, you have fans and adoring fans, and it's like, oh, I like this, and it's like, I feel like I never got the unconditional love, maybe, and so I was seeking it elsewhere, and I think that, you know, unconditional love is sustainable, but the attention, it comes and goes, and it's empty. It's like a colander, right? It empties and it refills and it empties, and it's like this constant need for acceptance that I'm good enough. So, you know, about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I started working on that, and it helped. It just, I explored my youth. I explored who I was as a kid and, you know, things that I always felt less than. And did you ever go through that?
All the time.
All the time.
I mean, I saw the world is in a casting room. Do you know what I mean? So it was like everything was hierarchical. There was always somebody better and always somebody worse. And I needed to figure out where I landed within that hierarchy in order to feel safe. And I was so ambitious because the higher your number on the call sheet, the more validation you got, the more people wanted to see you and wanted you to be around, and the more valuable you were in my experience. And so there was just like this intense competitive edge, you know, and I mean, that was, you know, really like that longing and that emptiness was what pushed me into what ended up being the cult that I ended up kind of doing crazy life altering things in. But yeah. And then it wasn't until, so my whole life, people were like, oh, you're so lovely. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, you're so nice to be around. Oh, you're so funny. Oh, you're so this. Oh, you're so that. And so everyone's expectations of me were like fantastic. You know what I mean?
That's
and I was like, great, I will live into that. You tell me who I need to be, whether it's through a script or through your perception of me, and I will absolutely fulfill that. But there was like a hollowness within that because none of it was calibrated to me and what I wanted.
You didn't feel it.
Well, I wasn't there. I was a shell that was presenting as a person to the world, right? That was receiving me. Yeah. And then when I got in trouble and my life changed and there were all these horrible things that were being said about me, some totally earned, some really difficult and I don't necessarily think fair, but some 100% valid and fair. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I don't want to be any of those things. So if I don't want to be any of those things, who am I? You know? And there was this complete decomposition of my identity and this moment of like limbo moment, years of limbo in who am I? And then being in very strange and different, unique environments like prison, like a jail
Jeez,
cell,
yeah.
like the back of a paddy wagon, and like a courtroom, like the center of a paparazzi huddle,
Hmm.
like house arrest, where I was like, I'm still myself, but I'm waking up looking at a cinder block wall. So last year I was myself and I was waking up looking out onto fields of lavender in the south of France. And this year I'm waking up looking at a cinder block wall, but I'm still myself. So what is that? Who is that? And if I don't calibrate to your expectation or your idea or what you want, then I guess I need to calibrate to my expectation and who I want to be and what I want. And that doesn't change regardless of if I'm in a prison cell or if I'm teaching in a classroom or if I'm sitting and talking to Michael Rosenbaum or hanging out with my husband. That there's an integrity that is consistent, but it was like the bullshit was burned off of me through the crucible of my experiences, if that makes sense.
Yeah.